we've been having problems getting into the smokers unit, but the owner is amenable. The landlord is amenable to us doing some ceiling work where the smoker lives, and
But the
At cost
people
the
have
cook is
come
gonna
in.
pay for the work.
it actually doesn't cost us that.
It doesn't matter. It's the main thing, the point.
Well, if you guys don't want me
He's
to do
been
it,
a
then I
nuisance
won't.
to those people for a long time. The
I
owner
haven't
needs
been-
to do
I haven't
something
been
about
charging
it.
for the ceiling work, but it's about 2 hours of staff time and about $30 of materials. It seems to make quality of life better, so I don't.
It's a quality of life.
I don't get into the.
It's quality of life, and it's also that this board established a
Yeah, I
policy
mean,
2
people
years
have
ago
come in
about
to deal.
this, in which we said,
Yes,
as a
I know.
compromise, to try to deal with the fact that we have a campus with smokers and non-smokers,
Right.
that we would help to mitigate air travel between these leaky units, and that was something the board decided was a good use of our resources. Thank you. So we are going to pay for that because that's what we, I mean, within reason, that's what we said.
You're 203, right? Okay, so it's a squeaky wheel issue, and it's been off my plate, and I'll get back to it. The owner of 103 has said that we can perform ceiling.
Didn't they go? I thought there was people that came in. They
The
came
owners
into
did some
ours.
stuff, but apparently, yeah, we did some stuff to yours,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I have to follow up on
but
103.
that hasn't helped us.
See what I can.
I don't know, like
I
if you
know.
guys go in, just walk in the door of the bottom thing.
Yeah,
it's overwhelming. Like
Yeah, he's a non-stop.
It's
smoker.
insane.
He's a constant chain
he's
smoker.
got and he's got a fan blowing out.
It's
Yeah,
all
He's
really
in a
bad.
long-term renter.
What
building are you in?
3335.
Well, so don't we need, so you're saying even the hallway?
Oh yeah.
Well, we can put
Well,
a
so
sill. We
we-
put a sill on the door.
in the
We'll do some
We've got to
sealing.
seal the doorway.
He smokes nonstop.
We did offer to buy a smokeless ashtray. It was $32.
They don't work.
It'll help, but no,
I mean, we dealt with it in the summer because we could have all the
They don't.
windows
I had
open.
one.
We bought fans. We blew all the air out so it wouldn't come into our unit, and we tried to aerate it that way. But now we can't do that, and it's our guests complain about it. It's just not.
He's the like fifth time that he comes here, right?
What we're hoping, honestly,
I mean,
and
the
since
owner
I've
needs
looked
to do
into
something.
this,
I mean,
read
the other one is a
several
long-time renter, but
other
he's
cases,
making their lives
but
miserable.
all like
It's true. The owner actually would like
Most
to
renters.
tenants to leave.
Can we hear Jason, because this is really
What
important.
we're hoping, I mean, what I've been told by the lawyer, because we eventually got the lawyer involved, right? So where does this stand legally? And it turns out that until the city of Boulder, the state of Colorado decides to change the laws that apply, there are places where they're starting to make it
If they're
illegal
apartment
to
buildings.
smoke even in if you're in a multi-family dwelling, that you have to take it outside. But we don't have the legal framework in which to impose that. So you guys could maybe sue us, and that might push the legal system. No, I mean that's how these things happen.
That's actually what the lawyer offered to do with Bruce's issue. The lawyer said that's actually where I've seen HOAs solve those unfair historical bylaws.
Oh, but
Is to actually have
Have a-
tenants go to the Boulder judge, let him hit the gavel, so we don't have to change the bylaws.
right. Oh, I see. Right, just
It actually works that way.
I guess they haven't done
But I
that
think
with
you
this
should
new.
shut
We
down
have a
now.
new HOA sort
Okay,
of
for
monitoring
anyone
and
that is
regulatory
anytime.
framework.
You guys gotta
We need
make a
to
motion.
But
You gotta
apparently
make
they
a
didn't
motion,
deal
'cause
with that.
other board members.
But so
I just
Well,
want to stir the
why
brains.
they disagree?
legally we're
Yeah,
being.
we're gonna talk about it. Make a point.
But let's see if we
What was
can't
that?
do some
Your
things
board member make a
to
motion.
reduce it.
That'd be
Charging the
great.
owner or the smoker renter, charge for every work that you go do and that you need to help mitigate your livable space. Every time that you go there to do something, you charge the
Right,
owner.
but you got some legal issues here. One is the owner can say, I'm not gonna pay you, I'm offering to let you come
Like
in.
charging them for using
Yeah,
the
so
toilet.
they'll just, what you'll get is
And that's the
kickback,
model.
and then we can't help him because we can't go in.
No, it needs to
By
be
removing the money, I can make his life better, is the idea.
Yeah,
I mean-
it's kind of
and by
health and comfort
going
versus-
to fix
personal
their
rights.
unit, you're making the smoker's life better,
yeah.
and that's
Well, I'm
not.
sealing the smoke into his house.
Has the board ever considered asking owners to, especially in this kind of situation, to say, This is
My next door
untenable.
neighbor on
We
Monday,
need
I
you
don't know
to
them, but they
terminate
took
this
action
person's
right away.
lease.
We have
That I
tried to
had
do
for
that.
the people
You
that
have.
can't
We,
get-
but we can't actually require it, we
Week
can
and they were
ask.
out.
But has
Wow.
this person
got
been
something.
asked?
Barney, didn't you?
You've been here forever.
I think there was another case in which there was a renter who was a smoker and it was a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I've
they're
got
both
4 to
so
5
into units.
buildings with this issue.
And didn't you talk to the owner and the owner was sympathetic and the owner had them leave, didn't
That's, we've had owners.
So it has happened.
Yes, we have had landlords,
But
kick people
has
out.
this
I
person, has this owner
Yeah,
been
We've
asked?
done it.
Has this owner, it's such a
I
problem.
spoke to the owner.
Yeah.
The owner is not happy that this person is smoking.
Okay, so if we could work with that person to say, could you please terminate this person's lease?
I asked that, and I will ask that.
Good, because I spoke to my neighbor, and he didn't even know that his renters were smoking.
Yes, this owner didn't actually know that.
And he is
Can you put
starting
107,
in January
3300
to
on that
get
too?
a different renter.
They come in 2 o'clock in the morning, smoke pot, and it drifts right
Cool.
over into my.
Yeah, this is like a hard.
Get a free high, huh?
Okay, so we got 107
Can't do anything about it
When they
now.
come
And we have
today,
That's the Constitution.
when they open the door to
Okay.
the
My problem is
hallway, we can see
So
the
we-
smoke.
Thanks. Yeah.
We've got a couple
Yeah.
steps. So Barney, you're gonna do both prongs?
Yeah, I will
Work on
have,
mitigation and talk to the
Yeah.
owner.
Olivia's not happy that I'm spending money doing this.
On what?
It's, on
I
this
really
ceiling.
Yeah, I'm
think
not
that's okay.
Yeah,
I
well,
think they should do it
Olivia,
themselves
I can
too.
understand, but the board actually made a decision 2 years ago that we would step in to try to mitigate these. We would spend small amounts of money.
Olivia may be concerned, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, about broader issues of ambiguity about
Well, I wasn't
who's
here 2
responsible
years,
for what.
2 years ago, I wasn't here, so I don't remember voting on that particular subject. I would say no.
I paid to have my units sealed.
But
Yeah, because-
my point is that there are places where there are legitimate gray areas, where there are expenses maybe being covered by the HOA when they should be covered by homeowners,
Right.
vice versa. And that we need to be offering a lot more clarity about what we are going to be responsible for
No,
going
but
forward and what we're not.
it's not in the bylaws that we have to do it exactly, right, am I correct? But you guys, the homeowner, the association did it just to keep the peace between the renter and the owner. I'm
Well,
guessing.
They made a
I would-
decision
I
between
would-
the renter and the renter.
We were,
The
we
renter
thought,
and the- okay,
we
that's
thought
right.
that since we couldn't offer
I
a
think they
legal
should have
remedy
moved.
to either, the legal remedy unfortunately at the moment redounds to the smoker. That's the legal framework. And so we had people like these people coming in and complaining to us, you know, and we looked into it and said, we can't actually act on your behalf. We can't outlaw it on campus. We actually can't even do anything more than the city of Boulder does, which is to restrict smoking outside to 15 feet or more away from a doorway, a window. And so we were trying to offer some response to those people who were having to live with this discomfort in the hope that, while also the official policy is that we ask the party who's smoking to, you know, the managing agent is supposed to try to negotiate with the smokers if, to get them to be responsive to the quality of life issues that their neighbors are raising, and that we would help to try to grease those wheels by offering to do what we could to make the 2 units better sealed away, you know, so that they're not, you know, sharing the same air all the time. And that was the idea. So we were trying to actually, we weren't just trying to appease, we weren't trying to appease either side, but trying to find a solution that would show that this HOA is not just basically standing aside and letting the bad situation continue without doing it. We were trying to do something to help. Now, what we're able to do is very limited. And we haven't had expenses that exceed $50, I don't think.
No, it's like, we get the blow foam, we blow under the sink, you know, we put some fiberglass in a bath shower fan. We then also report where we recommend they seal their fireplace, things like that. We don't do the
Put that
fireplace
under
seal.
their door.
And we will buy the seal, so a seal is like $11 and it's 20 minutes to install, so we'll put a door sill.
And how many times have we had to do this over the course of the last 2 years?
7.
So we're talking about $350.
Not much. Not much
It is
at
a
all.
lot.
Maybe
is
10
because
hours in labor.
Some people that
Oh,
live
here it
here,
is.
they think they can get away with getting a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time from everybody that pays their dues.
Show off.
Okay?
I think Olivia's making a broader point here that the
They're
HOA
trying.
shouldn't pay for things it doesn't have to, and
Right.
has in cases in the past. We've been starting to talk about that, so I think that's a point well taken. But on this particular issue, I agree that this is such a small amount of money, and
Well,
it is such a
and I'm
communal
completely
shared
with-
issue.
Yeah, I think your point is well taken, Matt. And Olivia, you know that, I mean, one of the reasons we changed the policy about in-unit repairs with on-site staff was because we thought we need to distribute these resources to things that we all are exposed to and not be giving people sort of special access
Right.
to low-cost services just because that's what we've done in the past. So I think it's a thing to keep an eye on.
But it also gave us pretty good revenue when we did them.
I disagree.
Why?
Because the revenue doesn't include unemployment, medical, vacation, callbacks 2 years later, hey, you put this in my unit, it's broken, fix it for free.
2 years is nothing.
I get calls for
There's
5
no-
years. I
no-
get calls
no
you put my
guarantee.
zone valve in 10 years ago, I want it fixed.
Well, that's bull.
Okay, so we have a disagreement on that point.
Barney, do you have an estimate of maybe what it total cost, labor, parts, everything to fix a unit? Just
For
like a
smoking,
ballpark. Yeah, exactly.
at the worst case, 2
Yeah.
hours of labor.
Well, I mean, just a ballpark total number: $500, $200, $7.
Per unit?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 hours labor, let's say 25 an hour, including all the ancillary expenses of an employee, so that's $50 in labor and 50 at the most in materials, so at the very most $100.
And we do 7. We've done 7 of those in the
In 2
recent
years.
past. Okay.
So say 3.5 a year.
Okay. So we could maybe note that possibly $500 might go to this a year and just
Yes.
kind of have that
That's
in our
fair.
building repair kind
Totally
of
fair.
mindset for
Mhm.
budgeting.
Yes,
And,
500.
it does make me realize that so often that when we haven't addressed something in a while, we think of something new. One thing we could do going forward is to contact all the homeowners who rent and tell them that we are encouraging them to please stipulate non-smokers because we have an ongoing problem here. We're trying to gradually deal with it. This is a no-cost expense to us. It doesn't cost us anything to ask homeowners to consider finding non-smokers if they possibly can. That we've had problems with it and they might anticipate problems in the future, and the ones who have had the problems will get it. And the ones that haven't will be well prized to consider it. It's just something that we could do whenever we have.
Ask them to consider maybe having $100 extra charge to help mitigate in case there is a neighbor that's unhappy. You know, there's $100 or something.
Well,
like
this
that.
also goes
If
to
they
the
agree
idea of
That would have to be voluntary.
having the
Yes.
HOA approved
That's
leases.
a good idea. Often they're willing to.
$100.
Right, yeah, right.
Just a word on that, having been down this road a number of times.
Yeah.
Asking for non-smokers doesn't work.
Oh,
What you have to do is specify that they can't smoke in the unit.
oh,
Because
oh,
that's
I
something
see
that can
what
be legally verified.
Right, it's a discrimination issue. We can't.
Right, so just say no smoking in the unit, then that's easy.
I see, so that's the
Louder
legal way
voice
to do it,
than,
is to say, no smoking, it's in the lease.
That's right.
You sign the lease, you don't smoke if we catch you.
You're
Isn't
right.
It's
that how
like
we
cats or
remove the other
with
Right.
pets, I see, okay.
Besides, remember,
That's-
it's good for the health.
That's
not
very,
smoke.
very fair verbiage, that's
It
important.
stinks.
There's also an approach to solving these kinds of issues that I passed a couple of notes to Barney about a few days ago that is more about encouraging compliance rather than whatever it is. But that there might be a way for us to put together based on our knowledge of the grounds, based on what we know to be the ongoing issues that are cropping up within units, and send it a little not a newsletter, a report, a guide, a thing that says these are the issues that keep coming up. Here are the solutions that we recommend as an HOA that have worked for other people. They're low cost, and then also here are some phone numbers for professionals if you want to get this mitigated in a professional manner. I would be happy to spearhead such a report if that's something that other people would be willing to help with. Okay, awesome. And we'll keep it short. But my idea there is that we can also start to transition away from, we'll come in and fix this, and instead to say, we'll come in, we'll take a look, and we'll point you to the page on the report where you get your solution.
Right.
this is obviously tricky in some DIY areas. You certainly don't want residents fixing their own problems when it comes to the aluminum electrical wiring or things like that. But anyway, that's my thought in terms